Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max and Edward in this region. David will not actually be joining us for this recording session. He is on his book tour. He is promoting his new romance novel entitled We Met in the Lower Gladys. Guys, it's happy times again. Again. You know, this is back to back, just non-losses. This feels good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Feels weird. It's streak still.
So let us begin. Let us react to the Swansea match. All right? Both you guys were there. I was not, again, couldn't make it. So which of you two wants to get things started?
Max, I'll let you take the lead.
Right on.
Well, the first half was very drab, I think. We didn't have as much of the ball as I'd have hoped. We were playing a lot of football in our own half. You know, and as you mentioned there, as we're going to get into later about the atmosphere around Goodison Park, the crowd was really just wanting us to play football in their half because it was, you know, it was good. There was a lot of good pass and move play pieces of play going on, particularly from Idrissa Gueye. He had the freedom to roam all game, but in that first half, it was almost as if he was trying to, you know, push the lads further up the field to get them to play in Swansea's half, and it just, you know, we couldn't really find the breakthrough. And then obviously they get a goal from the set piece, and it looked like their tails went up a little bit. They looked like, you know, everyone behind the ball frustrate us and try and hit us on the counter. And you know, as I was watching, I was saying, you know, we really could do with a goal before half time here, because I don't want to be going in half time 1-0 down. And you know, luckily enough, you know, we managed to get the penalty, which was poor in my opinion by Wayne Rooney. But you know, thank God, DCL, right place, right time. And I think the pivotal point in the game was that piece of magic by Gylfi. Absolute rocket of the goal. Muted celebrations, but I think it gave all the other lads a big lift. And from there, I think we just got confidence, and you know, it shown really. And you know, we saw the game out particularly well.
Yeah, after we talked the last week about how this could be a banana skin game, all right, I started thinking about it, and I realized most of the games we played lately, we've been kind of sitting back and just weathering the attack and then going. And it occurred to me, I was like, wow, we might actually try to play a little bit more football this time, and that could throw us off because they could do exactly what we do to other teams. And I feel like we actually had a decent amount of possession first half, but it was the most unproductive possession.
Yeah.
You know? And then they got that little that corner that they didn't have a ton of chances on set pieces, you know, but and it has to be mentioned, Ashley Williams letting his man go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I don't think Sam will be happy about that.
No, he talked about it in an interview after the game.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure he'll sort it out in future.
Yeah. Edward, what you got, buddy?
Basically repeating it, just the first half was just a complete drag. And I actually said at half time, if you looked at it, both teams could go for it in the second half. Swansea looked very up for it, and it surprised me a lot because what I thought they'd be doing is just going really defensive and just wanting to hold out for a point. Mm-hmm. But no, they went for it. So fair play. They got us all very, very nervous. And thankfully, we got the rebound, because I think if we didn't get that rebound at the end of the first half, we wouldn't have won, because the momentum would not have been with us, and Swansea would have just had a whole half to just sit back and do nothing.
Yeah.
And the thing that cracked it and was probably the best moment of the game, Sigurdsson. 45 million, if that's what buys it for you, I'll take that. But he's got his own like little goal of the season competition going now. One against Southampton, one against Split, and now And now this one against Swansea, like, all seems to be against teams that begin with S, if you notice.
I'm
Next one
assuming
could
that's
be
a
against Stoke.
Oh,
Next one I'm going to call is against Stoke.
nice.
He'll score a worldie.
That's the strangest connection. I never would have put that together. So you mentioned the thing that kind of sparked it. However, before that, something had happened that seemed like sparked it a little bit. Before that, we took Schneiderlin out and we brought in Davies, right?
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Yeah,
like
I knew y'all would get there eventually. But basically, was it changes at halftime, or was it the fact that we put in? Because it seemed to me that we put in a more forward-thinking midfielder rather than Schneiderlin.
Yeah, because obviously it was a weird time to make that change. I thought because it was about 10 minutes into the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I have
60th minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've got to say, I mean, he didn't have the best of games. Hopefully, it was just an off performance because he does seem to be performing well under Allardyce. But I feel like we finally kind of, Gay and Schneiderlin have finally found a way to coexist again because they didn't look like they were, because in the past under Koeman, the two defensive midfielders, it was a clear flaw in our game. They didn't really know, they were trying to do each other's jobs and it was just causing problems. But I paid close attention to that during the game, and I noticed Schneiderlin was kind of given the holding role, as I said in the episode, protect the back four, and Gay kind of had the freedom to roam up and down and run like he does every game. But yeah, so hopefully in the future that might look to be a thing that we go for, because hopefully it was just an off performance from Schneiderlin. But as you said, Gerry, Davies coming in and giving us more of that, forward thinking asset to the team. I think it did help us out a lot, particularly in that going forward.
I think it's weird that the exact formation, the exact team works so well for the past, I think it was like 3 games. I think we played the same formation, same team for Liverpool, Newcastle, and I think the one before that. And in all those games, the formation worked well. It did well for what we needed it to do. But in this one, it just fell apart. And I actually think now, Gay doesn't need Schneiderlin. I mean, you look at it. I mean, look at the pass that he made for, I think it was Lennon or Kenny, lead up to the third goal. That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
That was sort of like what Schneiderlin would do. But now it's a bit like he's taken over Schneiderlin's role in a sense, and he's got the two together. I think he actually performs better by himself.
Yeah. It's quite an awkward situation to be in, because I'm a big fan of Schneiderlin, because when he plays well, I don't think there are many better than him in his position. I think he can control the shape of the game really, really well. And as you say, in the last few games, particularly, Liverpool. What was the last game before that?
Huddersfield? No, who was it?
Yes. Huddersfield, West Ham, Huddersfield, Liverpool.
Yeah, he's been able to control the shape, but I think coming into this game, particularly against Swansea at home, bottom of the league, I think, as we've said, we were hoping to be more on the front foot, and I think, as we said, with Schneiderlin being that type of player that's pretty much there to control the defensive shape of the game, I think from the fan point of view as well, you want to see someone like Davies in there that can grab the ball, like take the ball and create chances going forward.
Yeah, first half was very frustrating to watch because we looked not just flat, we looked sloppy and careless. You saw a lot of passes that weren't connecting and going right to the other team, just not being very careful with the ball. And I realized we were being a bit ambitious. I mean, even Rooney was guilty of this. We saw Rooney give the ball away a lot, which is
awful.
It's not what he does normally. But it wasn't just him. It was a lot of people in the team, and I think that may have been what you were mentioning before, Max, talking about we're playing a team at the bottom of the table. Maybe we were taking it for granted. So and to be honest, it wasn't hugely different when we first started the half. But when we made a change that was more offensive, it kind of just naturally got everybody going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see us start exact or very similar to the way we just started against Swans, just because I think he's going to probably try to be more defensive against Chelsea. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was really frustrating to watch. The first half, I don't have a lot of excuses for us. I thought it was mental.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think because obviously the last few games, I think we've highlighted several times that we've discovered a lot more appreciation for us defensively. I think that defensive side of the game has come to the surface a lot more. You can appreciate players being very regimented and sticking to the positions and, just doing the simple things right. Like, they weren't doing under Koeman. But, as you said, against bottom of the league, at home, you want to see us try and, take it to them. And we just said that first half was really drab. And, I point to the Sigurdsson goal being, the catalyst, really, of the entire game. Because obviously, we'd gone in, we scored that late goal in the first half, and we'd come out kind of thinking, okay, right, it's almost as if it's 0-0 again, take the game to them now. And then we kind of, as we said, we kind of even struggled to do it straight off the blocks in the first half. It took that change to really think, get the ball into attacking positions, because I don't want to seem like I'm focusing on the negatives. It's just kind of these aspects of the game that we've got to try and weed out if we want to try and be more consistent in our performances, really. So, that Sigurdsson goal will give a big lift to the whole team when we start performing well going forward.
Plus, when Davies comes in, it's not just the fact that he's in and he's more of an offensive player than Schneiderlin and that he plays the ball forward more. He's also, I thought it was a formation shift just barely. So it went to a 4-1-4-1 rather than the 4-2 just because, and so Davies was not just forward thinking, but he was actually playing forward more. A little bit closer to being in the center of the pitch.
I think Rooney dropped deeper as well, which I honestly, I think Rooney should have been took off a lot earlier than he was, because I think, I know he eventually got that penalty late on, but I don't know whether it's the amount of games that he's been playing or what, but he just seemed off the pace, really.
Yeah.
And again, with Chelsea coming up, I think, of course, he's going to be included for that. So, hopefully he's okay, and fit for the game and can put in a good performance. But he did seem a bit off, really.
So I'll go to Edward with this, and then I'll go to Max. The rumors all season long so far have been Everton are going to be buying a striker in January. That's what they're looking at. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. And now DCL actually is learning to hold the ball up, and he's scoring goals, and he's getting a lot of assists as well. And he's kind of, he's kind of earned a starting spot. So do you think, Edward, DCL's still going to be a starter after the winter break, regardless of who we buy?
If we don't buy anyone, it's weird to say it now, but I'd actually hold off the striker search until the summer. See what we're like until the end of the summer. Well, end of the season. Because if we keep Niasse in, that's another striker. Sandro needs a bit more time, in my opinion. Calvert-Lewin looks to be really promising and filling in for that role, like you're saying. So we've got 3 strikers there already who are pretty damn good. And we've got a load of wingers or centre attacking mids or whatever that can sort of fill in for that role if we need them to. But I think the 3 strikers we've got actually are very good. Plus as well, we've got all the lads in the academy.
So you're thinking DCL keeps his job regardless. Okay?
Yeah.
Max.
I want to start off by saying I think the game last night was one of the best games I think I've seen him play, in that, because a lot of time, we've mentioned it, a lot of the time, even though he is winning headers, he was just pinging off the top of his head and going nowhere. But I think his hold of play was really good last night. You know, he's bringing it down with his chest, even from not just like long balls up, from throw-ins, even, you know, maintaining the ball from throw-ins. But to answer your question, I think to reach the levels that we're aspiring to get at, and to perform consistently and score, you know, because I think we're looking at trying to get that 15, 20 goal a season man starting up front. I do feel like we need to bring us a good striker in January. Again, it's Calvert-Lewin's only young. I know you say the likes of Nias are good, but at the end of the day, I want to try and see our quality of player improve, really, because I mean, for what he's done, Nias I still don't think is good enough for Everton. I think I might get a bit of a backlash for that, but I just feel like our standard of play needs to improve, and I think starting with centre forward, we need to do that.
I mean, guys, don't you think? Would you say we probably need 4 strikers, just in case, for a squad? You know, because think about it. Who we have now? We've got Sandro, we have Nias, and we've got DCL as far as being dedicated strikers. And Sandro, let's be honest, is not a lone striker. He's just not in this league, right? So we only have 2 people who can handle being a lone striker in our entire squad. And Sandro might be off. All right? So if Sandro's off, I feel like we need another player like Sandro. You know, a shorter, speedier guy that can play up front just in case. Something like a Kevin Gamiro, which we'll get into in our transfer rumors. All right? But the main thing I see we need is just a guy who can win the ball in the air. I want to see someone who is as good in the air as Benteke. I want to be able to finish some of those dead balls.
Can't Nias and DCL do that?
See, I honestly, I just don't trust them for that. To be honest, like I don't. Yeah.
How do you know though, unless you let them do it?
But we are letting them do that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, if you look at the likes of your Olivier Giroud, your Christian Benteke, is that they'll every ball that's up to them, they'll win it 9 times out of 10. You know, and even though it has improved, DCL still can be a bit of a hit and miss. And again, I think that's just down to him being young. I mean, his positioning could improve a bit. And again, it just goes back to my point that I think we do need one of those experienced players that do it at a consistent level. So, you know, my preference is Giroud, because I feel like his hold of play is brilliant, and it would help the team out a lot in terms of playing football further up the pitch.
I think regardless of who we get, he will continue to start, but I don't think he will start as often. I think Big Sam will see matchups and start bringing in different players who can maybe do a similar job, but slightly, just a different type of role. That's what
I'll ask this one thing: how did Harry Kane get better and become world class? Because he was starting games when he was young. He was starting off in those games when he was younger, like 20 and 21ish.
It definitely helped him. Yeah.
You know, Calvert-Lewin could happen for him.
I hope, Edward. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying let's not start him every game, because right now he's proving to be a solid player in the position. I just think it's nice to have a little flexibility and versatility in your squad. You know? That's it. That's it. You know? I love the guy. I hope he scores 40 goals this season. All right. I think his what's underestimated is his passing ability and his vision, which no one seems to talk about. Everybody talks about his speed, but they rarely talk about how he can get his head up and he can play. Basically, he backheels more than anybody I've seen, and it's usually accurate. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So he's got good vision. He's a good passer. That helps his link up play so much. Oh my gosh.
Are we technically saying then that maybe instead of looking at the players, why not look at like the tactics instead? Like use a formation, use tactics that would work well for the strikers we've got.
I think Big Sam will do that.
Waste money basically.
I mean, he does, but Big Sam's Big Sam. I mean, I noticed when I was watching, you know, there were a lot of long balls, you know, from Mason Holgate, even from Jordan Pickford, that long balls that were either hit too heavy or just went straight to one of their men. I think that we could cut out that a bit, not play as many unnecessary long balls. And as you say, try and cater to more of his, his ability to get in behind and his vision. But the way it's going at the moment, I'm just happy with the tactics that he's going for because they're getting us results.
And Edward, I got to be honest, Big Sam's style over the years has been proven to be he looks at what he's got and he adapts around what he has because he's pragmatic. I say it every damn time we film. Sorry, audience. But really, I mean, because he really does see the situation and adapt the squad around the situation, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because in the past we've had managers that just want to force a system into the situation and don't adapt. I still think we're going to get 1 or 2 strikers in the door, depending on if Sandro leaves. It'll be 2.
If we get rid of Sandro on the Assi, we'll obviously need to get 1 in, but I don't see the point in getting another.
Last thing, Sandro was in the squad and actually played, albeit for only a few minutes. Nias was not even on the bench and supposedly left kind of upset, is what the rumors are. Not sure if it's true, but those are the rumors, all right? And he was not injured. Big Sam has confirmed that. So, is this putting Sandro in the shop window just to prove that he's healthy? Or is this Big Sam saying, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance because you seem like you're okay in training so far?
I think it's a chance. I do. He's proven that he seems like the manager to give players a chance, not just over the years, but I mean, as soon as he comes to Everton, I mean, the way we were looking at it, we were seeing, prime example being Morgan Schneiderlin. A lot of fans were quick to jump on Schneiderlin's back and say, I'd have no problem with him leaving in the January, but Sam, I think, a key point.
Definitely not any of us. Definitely not ridiculing them off. No.
A key point in this little saga really was when we played Apollon away. I feel starting Schneider, giving him the captain's armband just showed that Sam is one to give players chances, and particularly with him being one of those summer signings, I do feel like he's going to give Sandro a chance.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he'll give Clausen a chance then?
Possibly. I think, as we said plenty of times, given that we're already in a bit of an awkward situation with the midfield and the attacking midfielders, I think that might take a bit longer to figure out. But I think even Klaassen has proved that at Ajax that he can be a real useful player to have.
All right, guys. Have we thoroughly covered Swansea? Because I feel like we've been filming for like a year.
We've well and truly ruffled the feathers.
That's what we're here for. We're here to ruffle feathers. All right? So, that is our Swansea reaction. If you're digging the videos, please subscribe. We're almost at 200. All right? I don't normally say that, but I heard some kids say that. Thought it might be cool. Just saying.
0.2K.
Yeah, we're really close. Will you be our 200th subscriber? Will you? Yeah, that'd be awesome if you were. It's kind of crazy. We've only been going since late September. So we appreciate the support. Everybody's been really cool. All right? So hopefully we can keep plugging along, working hard on the content. Check out Max's stuff on the Toffee Blues website. Lots of match reactions, player ratings, articles, all kinds of stuff. All right? Also check out Edward's YouTube channel, Jam E James. Details are right below there. Yeah, he's got
away from 0.3.
Yeah, he's got match day vlogs, FIFA videos. Just it's a lot of Everton stuff on there. All right, so guys, we're good. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go make some more stuff. All right, bye.
Adios.